Have you ever felt like someone's words or deeds made you question yourself all the time? It's like fighting an unseen enemy who strikes quietly and leaves a trail of emotional chaos behind when you deal with a passive-aggressive covert narcissist. People like this hide their manipulative traits behind being polite, which makes it hard to figure out what they really want. Let's talk about how to handle these tricky situations and keep your mental health safe today. Before we start, please like, subscribe, and share this movie with people who might need it. If you feel stuck in this kind of situation, these ideas could help you get out of it. Passively aggressive hidden narcissists try to control or put down other people by using indirect methods. They might forget to keep promises, give compliments in a sneaky way, or keep quiet to punish. One thing that makes them stand out is that they can twist events in ways that make you question yourself while acting innocent. But here's the important thing. Knowing their tricks isn't about diagnosing them. It's about breaking out of their cycle of control. Let's talk about ways to deal with their behavior that you can actually do. Now let's talk about how to deal with a covert passive-aggressive narcissist. 1. Set clear limits. There is a sneaky way for covert narcissists to test how far they can go without getting caught. This kind of behavior is often so quiet that it's simple to miss. That's why it's important to set clear, hard limits from the start, and always stick to them. Tell them exactly what you don't allow, and how you feel about it. Do this in a cool but firm way. Don't let it slide if they forget to do something important, or keep a promise, for example. Say something like, I know things get busy sometimes, but this task was important. We should talk about how to make sure this doesn't happen again. This method stresses responsibility, without making things worse. You should always stick to your limits, even if the covert narcissist tries to trick you, or make you feel bad about yourself. They might try to twist the facts to make you feel like you're being unfair or too demanding. But standing your ground makes it clear that their tricks won't work on you. Over time, being consistent with them makes your relationships with them seem more predictable, which makes it harder for them to use the situation to their benefit. Boundaries aren't just for narcissists. They're also good for your mental and emotional health, and keep you in charge of how people treat you. Number 2, don't show your feelings. A lot of the time, covert narcissists use your emotions to stay in charge of relationships. When you respond emotionally, the attention is taken off of their behavior and put on your response, which lets them get away with it. To stop this from happening, practice staying cool and collected, even when they do or say something that makes you angry. It can be hard to keep your emotions in check when someone is acting in a way that feels like an attack on you, but it's an important skill to learn. For example, if they say something passive-aggressively to make you feel bad, try responding with interest instead of anger. That's an interesting comment. Could you say more about what you mean? This method not only stops them from trying to provoke you, but it also puts the onus on them to explain what they mean. If you stay calm when they try to get you to respond emotionally, they won't get it, and the situation will change in your favor. Being able to keep your feelings in check also gives you time to look at things more objectively. When you don't want to, you can choose how to answer in a way that fits with your values and keeps the conversation from turning into a fight that isn't necessary. This feeling of control gives you power and makes it easier to deal with tough people without letting their manipulative behavior get in the way. Number 3, interactions between documents. When working with a covert narcissist in a setting where accountability is important, like at work, on a shared project, or as co-parents, it's important to keep detailed records of your interactions. Covert narcissists will often try to change the story to fit their own needs. Writing down what was said and agreed upon will give you solid proof of what was said and agreed upon. For instance, if you agreed over the phone, send an email or letter summarizing the conversation. Just to confirm, we agreed that X will be done by Y date. Tell me if I forgot anything. This not only makes things clearer, but it also leaves a paper trail that can stop them from later denying or changing the deal. Keeping meeting notes, emails, and job lists up to date at work makes sure that no one is confused about who is responsible for what, or when something needs to be done. When two people are co-parenting, paperwork can be very important. You can avoid being tricked or accused of not meeting standards by keeping track of conversations, plans, and agreements. When a covert narcissist learns that they can't change the story without proof going against them, they are less likely to try to do so again. Having proof not only protects your rights, but it also gives you peace of mind, because you know the truth is on your side. 4. Work on separating your emotions. When working with a covert narcissist, one of the most helpful things you can do is learn to separate your emotions. You don't stop caring about the person or the situation. You just stop seeing their actions as a measure of how valuable you are. Covert narcissists often put their own insecurities onto other people and try to get you to blame them for their actions or feelings. Being aware of this dynamic can help you mentally separate yourself from their behavior. Keep telling yourself that their actions are caused by their own fears and have little to do with you. People who try to guilt trip you, use passive aggression, or play the victim should be seen for what they are: attempts to control and rule the situation. You can separate your feelings from their actions by changing how you look at things. This way, you won't let their manipulation affect how you feel about yourself. It takes work to become emotionally detached, but once you do, it can help you keep your self-esteem and feel emotionally stable. Work on building a sense of self-worth that doesn't depend on their support or validation. Do things that make you happy, spend time with people who are positive and helpful, and keep reminding yourself of your strengths and successes. As time goes on, this change in attitude lets you deal with the covert narcissist without taking on their bad energy. This way, their behavior no longer affects your mental health. 5. Talk to people directly. It's important to communicate clearly and with purpose when you're working with a covert narcissist. Do not give in to their sly manipulation or ambiguity, as this often makes them feel more in control. Instead, talk to them about their behavior in a direct way that gets to the heart of the matter without blaming or accusing them. For example, if they often stop plans at the last minute, you could say, "I've noticed that our plans change a lot at the last minute, and it's starting to bother me. Could we talk about how to make our plans work better for both of us all the time?" If you start the talk with the goal of working together, you can shift the focus from what you think are their flaws to finding workable solutions that work for everyone. This not only helps you stay calm, but it also lets them know that you won't stand for being ignored. A calm tone is important so you don't make them angry or defensive. Covert narcissists like to be in conflict, and they might see any complaint as an attack on them, no matter how mild it is. Instead of pointing fingers, stress shared goals and joint understanding to stop this from happening. You could say something like, "I appreciate the time we spend together, and I want to make sure we agree on our plans for the future." This changes the tone from conflict to cooperation, which makes it harder for them to change the subject or change the meaning of the talk. Also, be ready for fight or evasion. Covert narcissists often avoid responsibility by being passive-aggressive or giving unclear answers. Be strong but calm, and if you need to, restate your points. Remember that the goal is not to totally change how they act, but to set clear limits and expectations for yourself. Using this method consistently will help you handle encounters better, making it harder for them to use the situation to their benefit. 6. Take care of yourself. It can be mentally and emotionally draining to deal with a hidden narcissist. Their sly tricks, passive aggression, and need to be in charge all the time can drain you and make you question what you think. So putting yourself first isn't just a good idea, it's necessary. Take time to do things that make you feel good and help you stay grounded. Taking care of yourself by doing things like exercise, meditating, doing hobbies, or just spending time alone can help you feel better and keep your emotions in check. It's also important to surround yourself with people who will support and encourage you. The covert narcissist's power over you is greatly reduced when you have friends, family, or trusted people who confirm your experiences and lift you up. A strong support system works as a buffer, easing the way through tough situations and letting you know that your feelings are valid. These relationships tell you that you are loved and valued, even when the narcissist tries to make you feel otherwise. You might also want to set aside time every day to think about your feelings and needs. You can stay in touch with your inner self by writing in a journal, practicing gratitude, or doing mindfulness techniques. By taking care of your health, you build a base of power that lets you handle challenges with grace. The narcissist will have a harder time making you feel bad about yourself if you are more grounded and sure of yourself. Self-care is not selfish. It's a way to protect yourself from a situation that is tiring. Number 7. Get help from a professional. There are times when you can't stay away from a hidden narcissist. This could happen with a family member, coworker, or someone else you can't stand. When this happens, getting help from a trained therapist or counselor can make all the difference. Professionals can give you useful tools and personalized plans to help you handle these situations while protecting your mental and emotional health. Therapy gives you a safe place to talk about your thoughts, find patterns, and come up with ways to deal with problems that work for you. You can also learn how to communicate more assertively and set stronger limits with the help of a therapist. These are important skills to have when dealing with a covert narcissist. They can teach you how to spot attempts to trick you and how to react in a way that keeps the peace and doesn't make things worse. Along with individual therapy, you might want to look into support groups or online communities where people have had similar situations. It can be very reassuring and energizing to connect with people who understand what you're going through. These groups can give you, as you deal with your relationship with the covert narcissist, you will need practical help, emotional support, and a sense of community. Hearing other people's stories can also help you see things in a new light and realize that you're not the only one going through this tough situation. Remember that getting help from a professional is not a sign of weakness. It's a step towards taking back control of your life. A therapist or counselor can give you the skills you need to handle relationships well and put your own health first, even when things are tough. Over time, this support can help you become more emotionally stable and clear, so you can deal with the narcissist's behavior with confidence and calm. Thanks for spending time with me to talk about these ideas. It can be hard to deal with a passive-aggressive hidden narcissist in a relationship, but you can keep your cool and feel strong again if you are patient, persistent, and have the right tools. To keep your mental and emotional health in good shape, you need to set limits, make self-care a priority, and ask for help. If this video was helpful, please like it, follow, and share it with other people who might find it useful. We can build a group of understanding and help if we work together. Please tell me about your thoughts or experiences in the space below. Let's keep talking about this important issue and help each other figure out how to handle these tricky situations. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.